Welcome back to another OTD video. I have something a little special for you today. Well, not recently, but I actually, about a year ago now, crazy to think about that, I received a special gift from a friend, and he brought over actually some vehicles that his mom found in their home in Illinois. And these were actually used as treats or incentives for him and his brother back in the early 80s. And his mom kept them in a actually in a like a old what is it, pedigree, the dog food, in an old box. And so these things were in a dog food box for nearly 40 years, and they're actually in a garage. So it's kind of crazy that they had them all the time. They're still blistered, and he actually just gave them to me because knowing that I'm a collector and that I'd find enjoyment in this. So thank you for giving me these. So let's kind of go through what I got. What I'm going to do is actually take them out of the package, and I'm going to photograph them and have an article, a full article on orangetrackdiecast.com, where you can see these cars with a standard Orange Track diecast photography. But let's go through kind of what they are and what I have here. And yeah, so I mean, a lot of these cars actually, a lot of these castings I didn't have in my collection. And since I'm a collector, I started collecting in 1995. So we're going on close to, what is that? That's gonna be 30 years here. Wow, crazy to think. I've collected consistently for 30 years. And these are some castings that I don't even have in my collections. One being the Mini Trek. You see on the back of the package, 1982, back when Mattel was still in Hawthorne, California. Cars are still made in Malaysia, though. These are basically the mainline equivalent. And see the old Blackwalls on here. The old Good Time Camper. Check that out. Mini Trek. Is this an old, I wonder what this is based on. I probably should have did a little research, considering I'm not 100% knowledgeable about pre-1995 cars. But nonetheless, this is a lot of these cars were done by Larry Wood back when he was like the only designer on the Mattel staff. He would describe to you as kind of like the up and down years of Mattel. Barbie carried the brand. All right. Next, we have the Firebird funny car. Great Firebird on the hood there. Firebird on the side, breathing some fire out. Little Phoenix. All right, some parachutes in the back. Metal flake, red paint. And look at this. I mean, this is great. These are essentially mint cars. Other than like got some Campo smearage on this one, but these are essentially mint cars. Never opened until now. All right. Yeah, and they just simply cut the cards for easier storage, because these were supposed to be for reward incentives for him and his brother, and apparently they just never got to all the cars that the mom bought, or they had been some naughty kids. I don't know. He didn't go into detail with that. But red Corvette here, Corvette Stingray, some gold Ultra Hot Wheels, right? I'm sorry, Hot Ones wheels. Very cool. So yeah, I love the retro tampo process. Pad printing at its finest. All right, we have the Landlord. Definitely don't have one of these in the collection. Street is heat is what it says on the rear spoiler. The Landlord. Okay. I wonder how they picked up the name for this one. Landlord. Gonna evict you from the drag strip. All right. Next, I actually have one that's opened here. I did open it. Actually, when I did a feature on orangetrackdiecast.com about the gold Civic from Fast and Furious, I actually used this in one of the images. So I did open this one. Sheriff Patrol. I actually have quite a few. I collected police cars for some time in the 90s, early 2000s. And then, I don't know, I just kind of did away with that collection, or didn't really do away with it. I just broke it apart and kind of separated it out, but I do have all the cars still, and one of them that I did collect was the Sheriff Patrol because it had so many renditions as a police car. All right, here's another car. I actually featured this one on OrangeStrikeDiecast.com as well in its own article back in the early days of the site, nearly 10 years ago. The Turismo. It is the unlicensed unlicensed DeLorean car that Hot Wheels did back in the 80s. Back when they, it appears that they were trying to do a DeLorean and somehow couldn't get a licensing deal done, and they ended up modifying the car enough to make it into a new kind of car, though it does kind of somewhat resemble a DeLorean. I always love the taillights on here, straight up directionals. So, and we did see this deco return back in, I think it was 2015, right? At on an actual DeLorean, and it was in part of the main line, and it became a Super Treasure Hunt variant as well. So I do have those articles on OrangeStrikeDiecast.com if you want to check those out. All right, next we have the HiRakers. The HiRakers, see the little bottom there? The HiRakers 3 window 34 in red. Hot rod. So very cool casting here. For those that don't know, the original HiRakers, they have this little plastic part in the base where you could jack up and give it a nice rake in the back, just as it's seen here. Or if you don't want the rake, you can simply push down on it and the wheels would go back and the casting would lay more parallel to the ground there. Next we have the P928, so the Porsche 928. I'm not sure why they call them, they didn't use the word Porsche, like they used it, they had the P911 as well. I'm not sure if it was a licensing thing or if this is how Hot Wheels or Porsche wanted their cars to be named, but needless to say, we do have the P928, and this is actually, I'm just noticing here, this is one of the cars that were still made in Hong Kong at the time. Made in Hong Kong, back when it was under British rule, before, I think it was 97 when it went back to the Chinese government. So we have Hong Kong base. Very cool. We have the Chevy Citation. So this car was done back in the gas crisis of the late 70s, early 80s. And when Larry Wood himself said that they wanted to do more cars that were economical, the management team wanted to do more economical cars. So the Chevy Citation was born. And yeah, I don't think it lasted too long, I think. But yeah, this is got the gold Hot Ones wheels on there. Metal flake brown, which is never a great color for an 80s car, but there we go. And we have the split window 63, another HiRaker casting. Check that out, the plastic base there. Jack it up or keep it low. These are cool. I wonder if we could ever see these the HiRakers with the adjustable base come back. Maybe in like the new silver premium line, it'd be pretty cool, and especially with the ones with the reverse rakes or the trucks that have the reverse rakes in the front. So we could have them sit standard in the front or raise them up for some overlanding. So this one's in like a metal flake gold, right? Look at that, you can see all the sparkles there. Very cool. All right, then we have the Mercedes 380 SEL. So a car that was final run, what was it, back in late 90s, right? No, early 2000s. The final run was 99, 2000. And we had some cars in, I think that in 2001 was when it discontinued the premium final run, and then they moved the final run over to the main line in 2002 or 3. And this was one of the originals. Came in, it got a premium treatment going out, so it was in purple. Actually, we just recently got that one. So this one has the gold ultra hot wheels. Sorry, gold hot one wheels. picture of Habit there. And then you can actually see some of the wheel chrome has gone away or was never applied, but this is just nice one in silver and black. So again, I don't know why they don't say like this one doesn't say Mercedes on there. Could be a licensing thing like Porsche. Not 100% sure, but it's just the 380 SEL. All right, then we have the Baja Breaker. Sadly, the tampo on this one's a little rubbed off there. We're missing. So this is a great van, very popular casting. This is one casting. This is actually one car I had when I was a kid. I remember this one falling into the sandbox and never returning, but it was great kind of car to, you know, build little things in the sandbox, little ramps and stuff, and do a little overlanding in there. But the hood comes up. I'll have to see if I can get that up and take a picture of the engine when I take a picture of this later. Metal flake orange paint. Not my favorite Baja Breaker deco there, and especially because there was this one did return years later in the RLC, so we did get some really cool decos in the RLC of this one. But cool casting nonetheless. It was cool enough to return in the Redline Club. And lastly, we have the Malibu Grand Prix. So I believe this casting actually was by several names, right? Yeah, it's got the unmarked base, which usually means it was called several things. Goodyear logo on the back. Really cool striping pattern that goes along the sides into the front. And my dog is drinking water. All right. So, very cool. Another car back from 81, 82, around that timeline. So, all in all, we had what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, 13 cars in this vintage score from a friend of mine. So very thankful that he decided to give these to me. Very thankful that I can finally, after a year, open these and put these into my collection. Having these off to the side for so long, so it's finally good to get these into the collection, and with their assorted into their manufacturer bins they go. So thank you again for watching. Let me know this batch what your favorite is, and if you've ever had another vintage score or any score of someone randomly giving you some cars in the comments below. I'd be happy to hear those. Thanks for watching.